Cosmic Skeptic, also known as Alex, is an atheist YouTuber who has way more subscribers than me. And Mohammed Hijab, I don't know how to pronounce his name, I don't speak the language. He is a somewhat infamous Muslim apologist who also has a lot more subscribers than I do, and I get to use them both in the title and thumbnail of this video. Look at me. I'm learning the art of clickbait. And I know it's working because you're watching this video. You fell for it. Anyhow, I'm not too familiar with neither Alex's nor Mohammed's work. I spend too much time watching anime, so I don't know a whole lot about exactly what each person believes or the things that they have said in their work. So forgive me if I misspeak on behalf of one of these individuals. And Alex may or may not post his own response to the video that I'm responding to now. As of when I'm recording this, he hasn't, but I'm going to respond to it anyway. But what am I responding to? Well, I'm glad I assumed you asked that question. Both Mohammed and Alex were in a debate, and this debate you can find on Mohammed's channel, and in typical Mohammed Hijab fashion, he has taken a snippet of this debate, sort of secluded it from the rest of it, and posted it in its own video. And I'm going to respond to what is in that particular video. And now, of course, this is going to be an isolated example of something that Mohammed feels that he really got the atheist good on, and this is pretty much just what he does. Now, if you were to take this video and have only seen these parts of it...
Do you accept that there is an necessary existence?
I would say that yes.
Then that's God. Yeah, for us, a necessary existence is something which is, this is perfect. Couldn't be any other way, explains everything else. That's our definition of God.
It explains everything else.
Because it's necessary, it couldn't be any other way. All contingent things depend upon it.
Then yes, I retract it.
You might get the idea that atheist made a claim, atheist then agreed God existed, then atheist retracts claim when he realizes exactly what he says. This is essentially how Mohammed wants you to see this. This is definitely how all of his commenters see this. And, you know, that's fine. There's no reason to think about it too much, no reason to look into it too far. After all, there are way too many big words floating around this Oxford University place. But, in reality, it starts off like this.
Well, it's necessary, because if it's not necessary, then it's limited.
What's your definition of necessary?
You know what? I'm going to show you exactly what each person says. So, let's go to the whiteboard.
Well, it's necessary, because if it's not necessary, then it's limited.
What's your definition of necessary? Because you keep using it incorrectly. What's your understanding of necessary existence?
Well, you know, you were talking about contingent things. It's the opposite of that. So something something that cannot have been differently. That cannot
be differently, and there's no explanation for it.
What,
outside of itself?
Well, I suppose so.
Right,
yes,
right. And okay, so do you agree that there could be
Nobody explained that.
Do you accept that there is a necessary existence?
I would say that yes.
Then that's God.
But that doesn't have to be God.
Thank you very much.
No, that does not have to be God. I'm sorry.
No. That's our understanding of God.
It does not have to be God.
Yeah, for us, a necessary existence is something which is, this is perfect. Couldn't be any other way, explains everything else. That's our definition of God.
It explains everything else.
Because it's necessary, it couldn't be any other way. All contingent,
it couldn't have been any other way. That's got no explanatory power.
Alex, all contingent things depend upon it. Yes?
So, as we can see here, Mohammed's gotcha relies solely on redefining Alex's words. I mean, where on this side does Alex say that there is only one necessary existence, or a necessary being, and where does he say that all things are caused by such a necessary existence? Nowhere. In fact, he doesn't even say that there are contingent things. Furthermore, Mohammed Hijab never explains how or why a necessary existence explains absolutely everything. Notice as well how he never gives Alex a chance to properly explain what sort of necessary existence he believes in, or why he believes in it. From the limited content of his that I've seen, this seems to be a pretty common tactic from Mohammed. That is, to say something pretty vague and arbitrary that you can both agree on.
So this is the thing, you agree with us on more points than you think you agree with us on.
Then manipulate definitions, declare gotcha, without giving the opponent a proper chance to explain himself or to respond. And honestly, I think this is A+ apologetics right here. It's raining. But I'm pretty sure there are many atheists who have converted from this man's adulteration of words. From here, Alex explains that he comes from a position of determinism.
Do you know you're speaking to a determinist?
But, of course, he isn't given the courtesy of explaining himself.
Pardon?
Do you know you're speaking
to
a
okay, so where did determinism come from?
If
you said in your thing, sorry.
What determined it?
Let me ask you a question. It's might seem isolated, but it will make sense.
Go ahead.
If P entails Q, and P is necessary, is Q necessary?
No.
It's not?
No. No, it's not. It doesn't have to be. If necessary... Right, so, hold on. Let me explain why.
And yeah, he doesn't get to explain determinism from there. At least not as far as I've seen, because admittedly I didn't watch the whole debate. I may be an intellectual YouTube atheist, but I'm also lazy, and I'd much rather spend my time practicing my trick shots in Modern Warfare 2. Mohammed also goes on to claim that Alex said something that he really didn't.
Well, hold on. So you believe in determinism?
Yes.
And you said in your speech, in your thing, A Universe from Nothing, you said that determinism comes from the necessary existence.
Are you talking about the contingency debate
48 minutes, yes. 48 minutes in, you said that one necessarily leads from the other. In other words, determinism leads from necessary existence. Yes or no?
Sorry, say that again.
You said determinism leads from necessary existence.
Okay, I think we were talking about a different thing.
No.
So let's go to that video, the video in question, and see exactly what it is that Alex said.
Do you see how that objection kind of riddles itself into the very first premise? Because if I'm going to deny the existence of contingent objects as Cameron has defined them, then that kind of means that the universe and everything in it is necessary in a sense. And that would be enough, because if the whole reason that you need this necessary being that you're calling God to explain the universe is because everything in the universe is contingent, then, or at least some things in the universe are contingent, then if the first premise is false, and there aren't in fact contingent things in the universe, then that means the universe itself is necessary, and therefore there's no need for this extra explanation. So I think I do agree with that objection, but I think it arises at the very beginning of the argument.
Right.
So when you go and look at this trump card that Mohammed had up his sleeve, this thing that Cosmic Skeptic said, this one point that completely disproves everything, you find that Alex didn't actually say what Mohammed insists he did. In fact, he says pretty much the opposite, that there are no contingent things, because everything necessarily follows from a necessary cause and effect, i.e. determinism.
You believe in a necessary existence which explains everything else.
No, necessary existence. Be careful.
You said a necessary existence. Are you retracting it?
I said that
Are you retracting it?
The universe, there's not one unified necessary existence.
But you said that the universe was a necessary. So are you retracting that?
The universe follows a necessary causal chain.
Okay, so is there no, you said, hold on, you said the universe is a necessary existence, and then you said determinism follows from that. Now I'm saying that
okay, how about this? If I said that and I meant what you think I meant by that, then yes, I retract it. But I don't think that's what I meant.
I think what it is, Alex, is that you
people can go and look that
Alex, I'll tell you what, no, it's important, guys, because if you're changing your argument now,
can I have an answer?
Yeah, you're changing it because now you've been cornered. That's the only reason why you've changed your argument.
Okay,
thank you.
I'll do that. I will respond to.
And here we see that despite all of the comments being like, oh, the atheist changes his claim once he realizes he's been got. Yet despite all of that nonsense, we find that Alex's retraction wasn't really sincere, because he didn't say nor mean what Mohammed thinks he did. But nevertheless, Mohammed is ready to declare victory whenever his linguistic gallimaufry makes it seem like he's actually made a point. In reality, we find that he simply doesn't understand Alex's stance of determinism, nor will he make any attempt to understand it, nor allow Alex to explain any of it. I mean, what's the point in that? What's the point in understanding the side that you're arguing against? There's no need for that in this game. There's no need for that in this game of I'm right, you're wrong. And this sort of thing is largely why I don't really bother with philosophy. at least philosophy outside of, say, logic, rationalism, skepticism, and the philosophy of science. Actually, it turns out I do dabble in quite a bit of philosophy now that I think about it, but I don't care to argue purely about philosophy, because it just becomes a jumble of a whole bunch of words that have essentially lost all meaning because of how narrowly you're focused on the subject and, you know, not looking at the bigger picture or different variables, whatever. You get what I'm saying. So, yeah, that's going to be it for this video, but I'm going to start a new thing. I'm going to start a new thing at the end of the video where I read you some enlightening scriptures. Let's go to the Jaina Sutras. Let's just flip to a random verse. Okay, here's a good one. A monk or a nun on a begging tour should not accept any such like raw, unmodified substances as sugarcane, which is full of holes, or withering, or peeling off, or corroded by wolves, or the points of reeds, or the pulp of plantains. That's very, it hits close to home. You know, I think we can all relate to that. So next time you're on your begging tour as a Jain monk, keep that in mind. I don't think a lot of people know that, and now you do. So, thanks for watching.